Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly Connect. In this video, we are going to learn how to create WordPress user from Google Sheets. So I want to hire some employees to handle my WordPress site. Therefore, I have added all the details of the employee in my Google Sheets. And now my objective is that I want to add them as users in WordPress and I want to send them the login credentials through email. So how we are going to automate this entire process? For this, we will have to set up a connection between Google Sheets, WordPress and Gmail, and that we are going to do without any coding or programming skills with the help of Pabbly Connect. So Pabbly Connect works on two principles, trigger and action. So in trigger we are going to take Google Sheets, and in action we are going to take WordPress and Gmail, and we will connect all of them to automate this entire process without any coding or programming skills. To learn this entire automation step by step, let me take you all to my screen. In this video we are going to learn how to create WordPress users in bulk from Google Sheets. So I have the details of all the candidates to whom I want to add as users inside my WordPress account in my Google Sheets. Okay, so I want to add all of them as users in WordPress, that too automatically, and then finally I also want to send them the login credentials through email. So for this entire process I am going to use Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing automation and integration software with the help of which I am going to set up a connection between my Google Sheets, WordPress and Gmail, and that too without any coding or programming skills. Okay, so this is the home page of Pabbly Connect, where we can reach by tapping the URL pabbly.com/connect. After coming over here, we can find two options: sign in and sign up for free. If you are an existing user, you can directly click on sign in, but if you are a new user, you have to click on the sign up for free button to create your free new account. Also, when you will create your account, you will get 100 free tasks every month to explore this amazing software and to test multiple automations. Now, as an existing user, I'm directly clicking on sign in. This is the all apps section where we can find all the products which are offered by Pabbly. To create this automation, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. So let's click on access now. And it has taken us towards the dashboard of Pabbly Connect, where we can find all our workflows which we have created. And we can also save our workflows by creating multiple folders. Now to create a new workflow, we have to click on this create workflow option. So let's do that. And here a dialog box will appear in front of us. So first of all, let us provide a name to this workflow. How to create WordPress users in bulk from Google Sheets. After giving the name, here I'm going to select the folder in which I want to save this workflow. So I have created a folder with a name as Google Sheets and WordPress automations. I have selected that, and now let's click on create. As we have done that, we can find that two windows are open in front of us. These are trigger and actions. As I already told you that Pabbly Connect works on these two principles, trigger and actions. So basically these two are the main concepts or the building blocks on which the entire automation works. The trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. That means the action is the response towards our trigger. So whatever we are going to select in our trigger is going to command the entire workflow, and the actions are going to follow that same command. Therefore, we can have only one trigger in any workflow, but we can have multiple actions as we want. Now let's suppose our objective is to create WordPress users from Google Sheets. So we have Google Sheets in our trigger and WordPress in our action. And as soon as a new data of a new person will be added in Google Sheets, automatically that person will be added as a user in WordPress. So here our action is clearly following what the trigger commands, because when the trigger happens, that means when the row is added in Google Sheets, then only the action also happens. That means then the user is created in WordPress, otherwise no. So after understanding the concept of trigger and action, let's start creating the workflow step by step. First of all, we will select our trigger application, and that is Google Sheets. So let's select that. And now we have to select the trigger event. Trigger event is the event on the happening of which the workflow is going to trigger or start. So new or updated spreadsheet row will be our trigger event over here, because we want that whenever we are going to add a new row in this particular spreadsheet, the response of that row should be captured over here, and with that response the workflow should get automatically trigger. As we have done that, a webhook URL is provided to us and along with some instructions. So we need to follow these instructions step by step and very carefully, so that we will be able to connect our Google Sheets with Pabbly Connect. And the webhook URL which is provided to us is going to act as a bridge for sending the data from Google Sheets towards Pabbly Connect. So first of all, let us copy this webhook URL, and then I'm going to tell you exactly what we are supposed to do. So let's go back towards Google Sheets. So it contains 4 columns: first name, last name, email and the phone number. I want to connect this spreadsheet with Pabbly Connect so that automatically all these candidates could be added as users in WordPress. And I also want that further, when I'm going to add some more rows in the same spreadsheet, then also those new candidates should also be created as users in WordPress. Okay, for that let's go towards extensions, and here we can find the option of add-ons. When we are going to click on this get add-ons, it will take us towards Google Workspace Marketplace. Now here we need to search for Pabbly Connect webhook, so let's select that. And basically Pabbly Connect webhook is the add-on which we need to install in Google Sheets to connect it with Pabbly Connect. As you can find that I've already installed this add-on, so I'm just going to cross this. Once you will install the add-on for the first time, you also have to refresh your spreadsheet so that you will be able to find the option of Pabbly Connect webhooks under extensions. As we can see the option, let's go towards initial setup. To connect our Google Sheets with Pabbly Connect, we have to do an initial setup in which we have to enter two details, webbook URL and the trigger column. So first of all, let us paste the webbook URL which we have already copied from Pabbly Connect, and then next is trigger column. So the concept of trigger column says that whenever a new row will be added in our spreadsheet up till this particular column, then the entire row will be sent automatically towards Pabbly Connect. Okay, so here it is given. The trigger column will be a final data column on which if the data is added, the whole of that row will be sent to the webbook URL. So whenever we are going to add a new row in our spreadsheet up till trigger column, the entire row will be automatically sent towards Pabbly Connect. Here in the background, you can see that I have 4 columns in my spreadsheet. Column D will be my trigger column over here, because I want that whenever I'm going to add a new row in my spreadsheet up till column D, that means up till phone number of the candidate, then automatically the entire row should be sent towards Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to enter D over here. So we have done the initial setup. Now let's click on this send test button to send the test response of this test user towards Pabbly Connect. As we have done that, the test data is sent successfully. So let's just click on submit. And here our setup is configured successfully. Let's cross this. We will move back towards Pabbly Connect. And here we can see that automatically we have received the response over here as soon as we have done the initial setup. So we have received the trigger column, spreadsheet name, spreadsheet ID, sheet name, sheet ID, row index, phone number, last name, first name, and email of the candidate. This means that our connection between Google Sheets and Pabbly Connect is perfectly successful. So because here I want that whenever I'm going to add a new row in the spreadsheet, the data should be sent automatically. Therefore, I'm going to go back towards extensions, Pabbly Connect Webbooks, and we have to click on this send on event button. As we have done that, we have made sure that now whenever we are going to add a new row in this spreadsheet, the data will be keep on sending towards Pabbly Connect. Okay. Now we will move forward towards creating the further workflow. Here our objective is to create users from the data which we have received from Google Sheets. Okay. And we want to create the users in WordPress. So for that, we have to go towards our action step, and in our action application, we have to select WordPress. So let's select that. And now we have to select the action event. So our action event will be create a user. Let's click on connect. And from the given options, I'm going to select add new connection to build a new connection with WordPress account. But if you already have an existing connection, you can also go with that. Now for creating a new connection, we have to enter 3 details: WordPress username or email, WordPress password, and the base URL. So username and the password are the login credentials, okay, of WordPress site. So we have to enter those. First of all, I'm going to tell you how to enter the base URL. So from where you're going to find this base URL, for that you have to go towards WordPress site and you have to look towards the URL of the site. Okay, this is the URL, and up till this WP3 before the slash, this is my base URL. Okay, so I will simply just copy this and I will paste it over here in this base URL field, and it is given in the instructions that if your WordPress site uses a custom login URL, use the main URL like this rather than the login site. Okay, so you have to remove the extra things from the URL. Now I have entered the URL. Now we have to enter the login credentials, so I'm just going to do that as well. So I've entered the login credentials of my WordPress account and the base URL as well. So let's click on save. And with this, we can find that WordPress is successfully connected with Pabbly Connect. So let's move forward. And to create a user, we need following details. So we have to enter the details one by one. First of all, it is asking us for the email address of the person to whom we want to add as a user. So we have already received the details of the person from our Google Sheets response. So let's simply map the email over here. Okay, so mapping is inserting data from previous step. Here our previous step is given and here are all the details. We want to map the email. So let's select that and it is mapped. So when we have mapped this email, it has become dynamic. That means now it is going to be replaced with each and every new response. So whenever a new data will be entered in Google Sheets, automatically the new data will be considered here in this field. That means automatically the email is going to be replaced with a new email of that new person. Okay, but in case if we will enter the data manually or by copy and pasting, then the data will become static and then it is not going to change with each and every new response. Then we will not be able to automate the process of creating users in WordPress from Google Sheets. Now the next is the username. So we have already received the first name as well as the last name of the user. So I'm going to use this as username. First of all, I'm going to map the first name and then I'm going to use an underscore and then I'm going to map the last name of the person, and this will make the username. Now the next is password. So I'm going to use some combinations to create the password. I'm going to use the first name and some random numbers for creating a unique password for each and every candidate. Okay, so I will simply map the username first of all, that means the first name. Then I'm going to use a special character, let's say @ and then I'm going to give a random number 678. So this will be the password, test @678, and because we have mapped the name, so every time with a new candidate the name is going to be replaced, and in this way we are going to create new username and new password for each and every candidate to whom we are adding as users in WordPress. Now the next is first name, last name and other details. So first of all, let's map the first name. Quickly we will map the last name as well. And now here, if you want, you can give the nickname description as well, but I'm just ignoring these fields for now, and we will select the role which we want to provide to this user. So I'm going to give as editor. Okay, now let's click on save and send test request button, and here we have received the response, but it is saying that the username already exists. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just reverse this username. I will use the last name first, and then I'm going to use the first name. Now let's click on save and send test request button and check whether it is correct or not. And yes, here we can see that our user is created successfully with the ID. So because we have received the ID in the response, that means the user is created. Let's go and check on WordPress. Here, this is the user section. What I'm going to do, I will first of all refresh the page. And now I'm going to go back. I will copy this email and I will search the email over here whether it is existing or not. And yes, the user exists in WordPress. Okay, this is the name test user and this is the email. And the role which we have provided to the user as editor is also given over here. This means that our workflow is perfectly successful up till now. Now let's move towards our next objective, and that is to send the login credentials to the users, okay, through email. So for that, let's click on this add action step button, and I'm going to use Gmail for sending the login credentials. So let's select Gmail as our action application. Now you'll select the action event that will be send email, and let's click on connect. I will go with the existing connection only as I've already built a connection with Gmail account, but to create a new connection, you can go with add new connection, and then you have to click on this connect with Gmail. Okay, now let's click on save. As we have done that, now here I'm going to first of all select the recipient email address, okay, to whom we want to send this email. We want to send this email to the WordPress user. Let's simply map the email address and done. Okay, now the next is sender name. So I'm going to use the name of my company, that is Sparkle Events, for sending this email. So I'm going to enter Sparkle Events over here. Okay, the next is the email subject. So we are sending login credentials for WordPress. Therefore, I'm going to enter the subject as WordPress login credentials. After giving the subject, here I'm going to select the email content type, that will be HTML. Okay, and here I'm going to give the email content. So now we have to provide some HTML tags in order to break the lines for creating this content. Here I'm going to enter hello, and I will simply map the name of the user over here, because I want to send the customized emails to each and every candidate. And now I'm going to enter the content which I want to send. So here I have entered the content with the BR tags to break the lines. Okay, I have mapped the username as well as the password so that it could change with each and every new response. And in this way, you have to enter the content, whatever you want to send with the login credentials, all right, by using BR tag, so that each line of the content will come in a systematic format. Now we are going to click on save and send test request button. And as we have done that, we can see that the email is sent. So let's go and check whether the email is received on the email address which we have mapped over here or not. And yes, here we can see that the email is received, WordPress login credentials. This is from Sparkle Events, and this is the whole content. Hello test user, we are glad to inform you that we have added you as a user in WordPress, and here are your login credentials, username, password. Here's the link through which you can easily log in. This is the link of WordPress site. Once you log in, you can change your password. Regards, Sparkle Events. This means that our workflow is perfectly successful, and because we have used the BR tags, so we can see that a very systematic format of email is given over here. Now, because our main objective over here is to create bulk users in WordPress from Google Sheets, that means I want that all these persons, okay, of which I have added the data in my Google Sheets, should be added as WordPress users automatically at once. For that, we have to go towards extensions. Then we have to go towards Pabbly Connect webhooks, and here we can see the option of send all data. Now, as we have done that, all the persons will be added as users in WordPress, and the email will be sent to each of them. Okay, so let's go and check whether automatically this dummy user is added as a user in WordPress or not. I'm going to copy the link of this email, and I'm going to go back towards WordPress. Here I'm going to search for this user. And yes, here we can see that this dummy user exists as user in WordPress. Now we will check for the third one. Okay. And yes, we can see that demo user is also an existing user of WordPress with the same email and the role as editor. Now let's go and check whether we have received emails for all these users or not. And yes, here we can see that we have received multiple emails for multiple users. This is for dummy user, demo user, current user, smart user, and as well as for latest user. This means that our workflow is running perfectly fine. So let's summarize what we have done here in the workflow. So we have taken very simple steps, trigger and actions. In trigger, we have taken Google Sheets, and in action, we have taken WordPress as well as Gmail. And we have connected all of them by using Pabbly Connect in such a way that now automatically we can create WordPress users in bulk from Google Sheets, and we can also send login credentials to all the users through email. Okay, so this was it in this video. You can very easily create this automation by following the same steps to create WordPress users in bulk from Google Sheets, and you can add Gmail to send the login credentials as well in the action step. So I hope this was helpful for you. Thank you for watching. Not only these applications, but you can integrate multiple such applications without any coding or programming skills with the help of Pabbly Connect. Now, if you have any doubt, you can reach out to us at support@pabbly.com. If you want to ask any query, you can reach out to us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issue, you can reach out to the website given over here. Now, if you find this video helpful, do not forget to share it with your friends. And also, please like our video and subscribe our channel for more such amazing automations.